my YouTube channel. Today's video is so exciting and I cannot wait to walk down memory lane again. I say that even though it's literally only been a month, but we are finally gonna go through my apartment hunt, my apartment story journey, and I'm so excited. For those that are new here, hi, my name is Tyler. I just moved back to New York a month ago, and I was sharing this journey with you guys on TikTok, and I thought it would be fun to do an even longer, more in-depth video on YouTube because there's only so much you could share on TikTok, and I feel like if I did a longer, more in-depth video, there is more room for you kind of to learn from myself, my mistakes, and just get a better or bigger picture for what it's like apartment hunting in New York City. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. Hopefully my video and my story will share some helpful tips and tricks for you when you're apartment hunting in New York. And yeah, this is gonna be a very, very, very fun video. I may talk for a while. I literally have water because sometimes I feel like I'm a talker when I'm not really a talker, but this is a subject that I love, so we'll see. But I hope that you guys enjoy the video, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, let me get comfortable. I lean back in my chair a little bit so I can get a little comfortable. I have my iPad for all the pictures and videos. That way I can literally just give you real-time reactions. I mean, secondary reactions because, you know, it's over. So we can go through each apartment. And then if you see me going back and forth between the viewfinder and the actual screen, sometimes it's so like difficult to just not look at yourself and look at the small little dot that you can barely see on the side of your phone. So I apologize in advance. But anyways, let's get started. I feel like it's nice to share a few things about me so that you can kind of understand my journey, to say the least, and a little bit more about what I'm looking for. So again, my name is Tyler. I'm 23 years old. I have lived in New York before. New York to me is like my Disney World. I've been dreaming about New York ever since I was a kid, excuse me. And I've spent about 4 years here with a little time off since 2015. The longest duration of time of me not being in New York was the COVID-19 pandemic. I came home one day in March because I didn't feel safe, and then I just never went back to New York until I pretty much moved back May 1st. I did a few trips, but I didn't live there. So that was the longest period of time, over a year and 3 months of me not being in New York, which, you know, was a little sad, broke my heart a little bit. But anyways, is the lighting still good? Okay, great. Sorry, just making sure the video makes it. In addition, over those 4 years, I lived with the same person, my sister, my best friend, and now she is wifed up. She has a boyfriend. So they live together now. And I knew that once we parted and went our separate ways that I didn't want to do the roommate situation again. So when I went on this apartment hunt and this apartment journey, I was looking for either studio apartments or one bedrooms that were within my budget. I was more steering towards studios because something about the idea of having a separate bedroom creeped me out at the time. I know that sounds really, really crazy to say. I mean, I don't know, your first time living by yourself, I wanted to see everything. I thought studios were so cute. Plus I don't really have much going on, so I thought I'd be able to decorate it nice. That's what my Pinterest board was geared towards. So yes, I was looking for a studio and a one bedroom. Pretty much it could be located anywhere in New York, whether if it was in the city, Harlem, Brooklyn. I was even considering Queens. Granted, I wanted to stay, if I could choose, the city, Harlem, or Brooklyn. I thought that my budget was going to keep me in Brooklyn, and I love Brooklyn so dearly. I spent 3 years there, 1 year in Bushwick, 2 years in Bed-Stuy, and I love Brooklyn. I have been to Brooklyn to get my nails done since I've been back, but something about Brooklyn, it feels like home, and I enjoy it there so dearly. So I wasn't picky in terms of what I was looking for location-wise. For me, the biggest thing was budget and price. I didn't want to financially strain or stress myself making this move back to the city. I know the city is expensive, not just rent, but just like life in general. At the time, I was kind of unsure of my exact income, so I just wanted to be financially on the safe side. And that's already hard to do without a roommate and trying to live by yourself. And then as far as my price range and my budget was going, I was trying to find a place around $1,500 or less. I know that sounds optimistic. If you, I don't know. I feel like $1,500 you can find a studio. Yeah, I keep trying to like say the right things, but this is my journey, my experience. Tyler, it's fine. Like, this is what you're looking for. Continue to share your authentic experience. Cut it out. Anyways, so my budget was around $1,500, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but that's what we were going with. Anyways, so let's get started. So I've done this apartment hunt before, and my ride or die is streeteasy.com. There's other sites like I think apartments.com and Nooklyn, or you could go on Gypsy Housing. But I love Street Easy. I've had a good experience. I've met good people on there, seen great apartments. Plus, I'm pretty sure every apartment is on Street Easy. That's an exaggeration, but I feel like Street Easy is just very user-friendly in terms of messaging brokers, saving apartments you like, filtering through amenities and what you want in your apartment. Everything about it is user-friendly. I love Street Easy. I 10 out of 10 recommend them. That's pretty much all that I used. So anyways, let's start the journey. So now that you know a little bit about what I was looking for in terms of literally just price, location could be anywhere, and either a studio or a one bedroom, let's get started. So this journey started on April 14th, 13th, April 12th. On April 12th, I was on Street Easy, as I was every single day, favoriting apartments that I thought I had the potential to move into or that I liked. And I had messaged this guy about this apartment that I saw. Beautiful, fit all the criteria, within budget, good location. And remember, since I've lived here before, I have a good sense of certain locations. Granted, not all of them because I haven't been to every inch of the city, but the ones in which I was familiar with the area, I felt comfortable if I were to proceed without maybe seeing it in person. Granted, I never did that, but that was also something in the back of my mind. So on that day, I messaged him. I was like, hi, can I see a video? Can we do a FaceTime tour? He called me, and for the sake of this video, what should we call him? We'll call him Brandon. The broker's name is Brandon. Okay, so for the sake of this video, we did a FaceTime tour, which is also really cool. A lot of brokers have been COVID conscious, which is awesome. And he FaceTimed me and showed me the unit, and I loved it. It was so beautiful. It was so nice. I was like, OMG, this could be it. It was I think it was like $1,350. This is the only one I don't have pictures of. Everything else I have pictures of. And I was like, this is great. I need to come see it. I told my grandpa, hey, we have to go up to New York this week. We have to go view this unit because apartments in New York go so quickly. Like, that is tip number one. Don't let your heart fall in love with something because unfortunately they go by so quickly. But there's also something, waiting around the corner for you also to discover. So I don't know, pros and cons of anything. Anyways, as we continue, so I told my grandpa, and so that was a Sunday. The following day was a Monday. Brandon, the broker, texts me and says, hi, that apartment is no longer on the market. And I was like, sad face. So that apartment was gone within like 24 hours of me viewing it and seeing it. Also, I'm from Maryland, if I didn't mention that. So making the trip to New York isn't hard. I could easily take the bus or drive. It's like 3 hours away, but we just couldn't get the turnaround time fast enough. So I stay in contact with Brandon. He tells me he has other units and sends me other units that I should come tour in person. So at this point, I was like, I'm trying to move by May 1st. I need to go up to New York and, find a place. So me and my grandpa decide to go on Wednesday, which is 2 days later. And over those, 2 days prior to us going to New York, Brandon sends me some units. I see one that I absolutely love, and I'm like, we need to view this apartment the first thing on Wednesday morning because I am not losing this apartment again. It was beautiful, had all the criteria that I wanted. It was a studio apartment within budget, and it was also in the city. It was on the Upper East Side. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, in terms of commuting to work, that works beautifully. So Wednesday comes around, me and my grandpa get in the car at 7 a.m. We drive up to New York. About an hour and a half into the drive, I'm literally driving the car. I get a text from Brandon, and he's like, there is paperwork about to be submitted for the unit that you like and the first unit that we're gonna see today. And I was like, wow. Like, people are on it. Like, people are viewing apartments like this and taking them off the market. Like, and I was like, is there anything that you can do? Granted, they can't really do anything about the fact that another person is putting in an application and paperwork for an apartment. But I was like, no, like, I really like this. This will be a second apartment that I like that I wasn't able to secure fast enough, which was like kind of discouraging. Plus I'm on the turnpike, so there's really nothing that I could do. Sorry, someone was calling me. I was like, not right now. We're talking about New York apartments. Anyways, so we're driving up the turnpike. We have about an hour left until we get to New York, and unfortunately, like 45 minutes until we make it into the city, Brandon texts me and he's like, that apartment is no longer on the market. And I was like, no, like, so here's your second tip. If you are doing a trip to New York to view apartments, make sure that you have multiple apartment viewings set up. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. Also, it's nice to see what else is out there, so that way you have options to choose from. So luckily that's what I did. So I was discouraged at the moment, especially because, I don't know, every time I see something, I'm like, this is the one. And then you see something else, that's the one. And it's just like, Tyler, you're just like hurting yourself over and over again. Anyways, so we finally make it into the city and we meet up with Brandon and we proceed to view our first apartment, which I will put here for you guys. So the first apartment that we viewed, it was a studio apartment. It was on the Upper East Side, and it net effective was $1,350. And they would let me pay the $1,350 price point each month, which was really great, well under budget. I liked the paint of the walls. I thought it was a good size, a good square size space for a studio. For some reason, studios that are situated more in a rectangular shape or fashion just make no sense to me. I'm like, how do you lay this out? It was definitely tiny. It did let in a lot of natural lighting. It didn't come with an AC. The closet was huge, super tall, and it did have like storage dividers in the closet, which was really nice. There was another closet by the restroom, which was really nice. The restroom was kind of tiny. But like I said, it's just myself, so it's not the end of the world. And in terms of like the look of the apartment, I wasn't super picky in terms of renovation. Like, it needs to be updated and have this renovated kitchen and these beautiful white cabinets and marble countertops. Like, as long as it's a functioning kitchen and everything works, because if you know me, you know I don't really cook much, that's fine. So this was, I thought, a great option. So I kept this one in mind. It was a great option, especially for the price point. This was also, I don't know if I said, located on the Upper East Side. Next apartment is actually an apartment in the building that I live in currently, or it's an apartment by the same like company. I don't know. Anyways, the apartment, it was a 1-bedroom. It was $1,650. I remember the price because it was out of budget. It was way out of budget. But it was so beautiful. I had a renovated bathroom. The floors are beautiful. The sink was beautiful. The fact that it had storage under the sink, I loved. The bedroom I thought was huge and let in beautiful light. The living room only had one window in it, and I don't mind not having natural lighting. I know that may sound really, really, really weird to some people, but I genuinely just don't mind it. In addition, the kitchen was renovated, like with updated appliances, which was really nice. And there was tons of space in the living room, but there was no counter space in the kitchen. And also, when I point out these things, it's not me being nitpicky of the apartment. These are just like things that are running through your head when you're thinking about where you're going to live, but also me pointing them out doesn't mean that I wouldn't live there because of those things. So I just want to point that out there. This apartment was absolutely beautiful. I loved the street that it was on. It was great. It was just it just wasn't in budget. 1650 was just a little bit too much. Why can't I speak today? It was a little bit too, oh my gosh. I was not willing to pay $1650. That's pretty much it. I would have rather an apartment at a lower price point. I need some water. I think that's what it is. I think I just need some water real quick. Anyways, so that was that apartment. Like I said, beautiful, just so out of budget. Next, we have a third apartment. This was in the same building as the one I just showed you, and this is a studio. But y'all, it's one of those studios that has like a rectangular format for the whole space, and it just is not practical in terms of living, I feel like, especially in the way in which I would set up my living space. This one was $13.50 as well, but it's also beautiful because it's renovated. The kitchen was renovated. The bathroom is renovated. I have these beautiful closet inserts. I'm literally looking at it on my iPad, which is why I keep looking down. The floors were beautiful. The kitchen, the appliances, like it really was a beautiful apartment. And I think I did like wide angle for all of these videos, so they look larger than what they are in person. But it just wasn't, I don't know, I guess it really is pretty for the price. Oh, another reason why I knocked this one out, it was on the first floor. Nothing against first floor apartments. I just don't want to live in it myself. I don't know, something about it, I just didn't feel safe with it, especially there were no bars on the windows, I don't think either. And in addition, there are 2 doors outside of the building. So I guess one where you go through the first one and you go through the second one, and there was no like anti-suspension thing on the doors. So every time those doors closed, both of them, they both slammed, and it made a large noise. And that's something, like, it's a small thing, but it's something that you have to think about, because if there are so many people living in this building and they're going in and out, and you hear that door slamming all the time, and maybe at night or in the morning waking you up, like, that's not, like, you wouldn't like that. And I told him that. I was like, that's another huge thing that's deterring me from this apartment, because that noise, that's a significant amount of noise. Like, that's another reason why I don't think I moved forward with this one. But for the price of $13.50, like, it's a great unit. It's a great unit, I think. That noise would have drove me up a wall. All right, we're still viewing apartments with Brandon. We're on to the next one. The next one is a 5th floor walk-up. Oh, I didn't even mention this. All of these apartments are on the Upper East Side, which was a shock to me, because I didn't think my budget, first of all, would place me in the city again. I really thought my budget would keep me in Brooklyn. But everything, when I was intentionally looking at Brooklyn, was a little bit too out of my price point, and everything led me to the Upper East Side, which was, I don't know, just like really unexpected. I mean, granted, you can probably find, units within my budget or my price point in other, areas of the New York City. But I didn't when I was looking. So that was really interesting to me. I was like, am I about to be like a city girl again? Like, this is weird. But that was just a funny observation. I would have been happy no matter where I lived. So anyways, 5th floor walk up, y'all. My grandpa did not come up for this one. I was like, you don't even have to. I really don't know if I could do a 5th floor walk up. I really don't. I consider it because of the price, but I don't really remember the exact price for this one. I think it was in the 1500s. But I was like, on my day-to-day life, especially in the dead of winter, in a big coat in my work bag, and all of the stuff that I'm carrying from the grocery store, am I gonna wanna walk up all those steps? The only benefit is the fact that no one is above you, because if you're a part of my TikTok, you know the people above me are driving me literally insane and crazy. But I don't know, a fifth floor walk up, even when I was going up these stairs, it was a lot. So let's view it. It was a 1-bedroom. It had tons and tons of space. It had a renovated bathroom. I really liked the bathroom. I love bathrooms where you don't have to have a shower curtain. Something about that just does something to me. But beautiful bathroom. And then the kitchen and living room let in a ton of light. It had this little mini hallway closet, this little DIY hallway closet. And then there was another main closet, as well as, yeah, that's so much light. I don't know. In terms of what I saw, it was a good unit. The kitchen wasn't super updated, but like I said, that's not a really big deal to me as long as it's a functioning kitchen. And this one actually had a microwave, which I really liked. And funny, when I was viewing this, another girl came to the unit at the same time, and I guess she had saw it prior to me. So she brought her measuring tape, and I was like, this girl got her measuring tape. She probably wants this unit. She's probably putting together her paperwork right now because she's probably measuring for her furniture. And I believe I was right, but we'll get to that. Anyways, so this was a great unit as well. It was in the 1500s, but then again, like contemplating walking up 5 flights or 4 flights of stairs, I don't really know how it works, every single day is a lot. Like, it is a lot. Like, you have to think about these things. I don't know. It was a lot. So that was the last apartment we had viewed with Brandon. And then throughout the day, I was contacting, you know, between appointments, other, you know, brokers or whatever, brokers on Street Easy from other apartments I had saved. So I went to this one. This was also on the Upper East Side. I hated it. That was really awkward. I did not like it. It was a studio apartment. It's so funny how they photograph apartments, because you can see the photos and think that this space is going to be the most incredible thing in the entire world, and you step foot into that building and then step foot into that unit and it's just over. So as you can see from this video, very, very tiny studio. This was in the high 1500s, I remember that, and the only thing about it was the kitchen. The kitchen was stunning. But the kitchen is the living room, that is the bedroom, and for that reason, this unit was just not gonna work for me. As well as the building didn't feel that safe. There were cockroaches in the hallways. And for that reason, I will not be living in that building. But that kitchen was beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was a beautiful kitchen. Oh wow. Yeah, there were cockroaches in that building. And then I went up 2 flights more to see another unit. It wasn't renovated, even tinier, and there was a cockroach on the floor of that unit. And I was like, you know what? I tried, but this is not the building for me. So that one was nixed. Last but not least, this is the last apartment of the day that I viewed. Is this the last one? Oh no, this is the second to last one. Like I said, you want to keep your options open. Try and see as many apartments as you can. We were only there for a day. Which is why we were trying to, you know, see as many things that we can. This was a studio apartment with a separated kitchen, which I loved. Something about studios with separated kitchens just do something for me, because then you kind of get a sense of separated space. You can have your living and bedroom and your kitchen and kind of dining separate, which is really, 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 really nice. It's something nice to look for in a studio if you can. It's not the end of the world if you can't. This unit also let in a lot of beautiful natural lighting and had that white exposed brick. And my last apartment, I had exposed brick all throughout my living room, and something about that touch was absolutely beautiful to me. 10 out of 10. And then I forgot what this was priced at, so please excuse me. But it was just something about, this also may sound weird, the energy of the apartment. I don't know. And especially with the guy that showed it to us, I just didn't feel comfortable. And I know that may not be a good reason for a lot of you guys, but I couldn't see myself living there for the next year. Anyways, on to the next apartment of the day. We're almost done. Hopefully my iPad doesn't die on me. But this was the last apartment of the day, and this is what I thought I was going to be moving into. This apartment was priced at, I believe, like $1,550 a month. It was a studio, but it was the largest studio of the day. Beautiful flooring, a little bit of the exposed brick, 2 bright windows in the living room, a huge closet. At that moment, my phone had died, unfortunately, so I couldn't get the fact that it had a separated kitchen and new appliances, and the bathroom was also tremendously nice as well. Let me plug this up real quick before this dies. I really couldn't speak for like those 2 seconds. Yeah, this apartment, in terms of everything that I wanted, it was in a great area. The separated kitchen, beautiful bathroom, huge space in the living room. It allowed me to break up my living space in a functional way. It was priced at a good price point, and I was surprised it was still in the market, because this is one of the apartments that I was in contact with for like 5 days, but the lady was unresponsive. The broker, I guess, she was very unresponsive. So I was like, is this available? Is this not available? Like, what's going on? Like, so as soon as we left this, oh God, I need to remember the apartment names. I started to pursue my options because I didn't want to lose out on an apartment again. And the first apartment that I pursued was the 5th floor walk-up one, which sounds crazy because I was literally just ranting for 5 minutes about how I didn't think that I could do a 5th floor walk-up. But in that moment, I was like, it's a great price, a great neighborhood. 5 floors isn't that bad. I'll just get to find legs and a big booty. But the girl that came in and was measuring apartments during that time, she put in paperwork. So that apartment, taken off the market, gone with the wind. So that was no longer an option. At this point, we're driving down the turnpike and we're like, okay, so what's next? So the last apartment, the one we just looked at, the studio, I'll number them so that way we aren't confused when I go through all of this, because this is probably annoying how I did number them originally. But I wanted to pursue that one. But this lady was unresponsive, and I was like, okay, so does this mean that this apartment is taken? Which would be frustrating, because at that point there are 3 apartments that I've liked that are now all gone, and I'm just like, okay, what do I do next? So on the drive home, my grandpa's driving, and I'm in communication with Brandon about, other units he may have, or, what else is available. And he begins to send me some units of apartments that were in the buildings I saw earlier that day, but I guess we just didn't have access to. And I was like, oh, this is great. There are still some other options. So he sent me 2 videos of 2 apartments, and I liked them both. They were both within budget. And one was like a studio, but it was a large studio and had this huge wall up. I'll try and put a video here if I can find it from our text thread. And then the other one was a true 1-bedroom. I decided to go, I'm sorry, I'm like running out of breath. When you talk so much, when you don't talk all day, it's a lot sometimes. So the large studio, and then we have the true 1-bedroom. So I decided to go with the true 1-bedroom, as well as that true 1-bedroom. The photos he had sent me were of a renovated kitchen, beautiful kitchen. When I tell you, like, white cabinetry, white marble countertops, the renovated kitchen. And like I said, that wasn't a big deal to me. However, like, if it was an option, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. So I was like, this is the one I want. I'm not losing out on it. So as we're in the car, I'm just like filling out the paperwork and typing everything up that I need, getting all the information together, and I send it to him. And we finally get home, and I don't know what was wrong or what the exact problem was, but we had to keep going back and forth about my paperwork and everything. And by that point, it was like midnight, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed. He didn't submit my paperwork, but we had to edit something in the morning. And I was just like, you know what? Let me just sit on this. Let me go to bed. Tomorrow we'll fix everything in the morning. Like, the business day is over. The business day is over. And the next day I go to work all day. I work a double. And on my break, I get a text from Brandon and he's like, hey, I sent you pictures of the incorrect unit. The unit that I sent you pictures of is way out of budget. And I wasn't gonna go out of budget for this unit. So he did make a mistake, but I'm happy he never put forth that information. Like, us not being able to put through our paperwork the night before, I feel like kind of saved me in a way, because of this mistake. I don't know what would have happened if we would have submitted it and then, well, I guess nothing bad would have happened because we wouldn't have signed a lease at that point. But it's just funny how it all worked out. So he tells me that the unit that I thought I was putting in an application for isn't available, out of my price point. And at that point, I was just like, really, I was sitting in my car. I was eating Chipotle in my car in the parking garage. And I was just like discouraged because I have 45 minutes left on my break. I'm like, I'm not in New York. I can't go view things. Like, I set this goal for myself. Like, I need to make it back to the city. I was like, okay, well, what do you have? Send me what you know you have, concrete, set in stone, please. So he sent me a video of an apartment. It was a 1-bedroom apartment in a building that we had saw. It was beautiful, like had a large kitchen. It knocked off all the boxes. Location, space, and everything was like pretty practical. It wasn't crazy renovated, but it was livable. Like it was something I could make into a home. So I literally was like, put in my application. It was within budget. It was within budget. I was like, please put in the application. Like, go for it. Like, put it in. Like, just please. So at this point, it is like 4:45, and my application has finally been submitted. All the paperwork is out of my hands. It is up to the universe if we get it. Because also another thing that I was terrified about is that renting in New York and the qualifications for being a renter or a guarantor is actually kind of insane. Like, the income requirements, y'all. Like, your guarantor has to make 120 times of the rent, which is a lot of money. And I know there are some people out there with a salary of that price point, but unfortunately, you know, my family, like, we don't. So there was a little bit of nerves in terms of the fact of whether or not we will be accepted, which was also very terrifying to me. Do y'all hear that? What the fuck? I don't know. I've been trying to get it on camera because they're just so loud. Anyways, shucks, what were we talking about? 1 second. So I was super nervous about getting approved because the requirements for just renting in New York are kind of just, for me, I feel like inaccessible if I were to do this by myself. My grandpa was my guarantor, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. But I don't think I would have been able to rent an apartment if I didn't have a guarantor. Like, I don't know, I feel like I would have been denied. While I can financially pay the amount every month and be comfortable, because I don't make such a significant amount of money, they would tell me no. Anyways, so I go back to work. I'm working, bartending my little heart away, and it's like an hour later, and I get a text from my grandpa that says we were approved. And I was in the beer cooler of my job, and I wanted to start crying. I like fell to the floor. It was just me and the cold little room surrounded by tons of alcohol. And I was just like, wow. Like, I couldn't believe it. If you're from my TikTok family and you saw the video that I posted, I think on April 1st, where I was like, I'm moving back to New York. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it, or how I'm gonna do it, but I'm putting it out to the universe, and to, you know, finally receive the text saying that we were approved after the ups and downs of like the past 4 days, and also just working hard in general and saving over the past year was just, incredible. And then I checked my email and I saw an email from the leasing company that said, congratulations, you were approved. And that is how I ended up in this unit. So I'm going to insert a video for you guys to see it right here for my YouTube family. Yes, that is my bed in the background. My bed gets here in a week. I have not gotten tons of furniture yet. My furniture starts to finally come in because living by yourself in furniture is expensive, girlfriend. It is a high pretty penny. But yes, so what was I talking about? See, oh my God, we're on 25 minutes. I knew I could talk for a while. So yeah, I was approved. I told all my coworkers. I was like running around the restaurant, so excited. I told my mom, my grandma was super excited. I just remember going home that night and I was just so grateful, but also just in such disbelief. Because I knew it would work out for me. It was just a matter of when and how. And sometimes we don't have the answers for those things. The universe and God, or whichever you choose to believe in, works out those things for you. So yeah, and that is how I landed in my apartment right now, my beautiful apartment. And that is pretty much the duration of my apartment hunt journey story in New York. It was just kind of crazy, like the whole everyone is viewing and searching for apartments in New York, so everything goes by super quickly. You could see incorrect units, brokers could send you incorrect units. Just tons of things happen. But just remember to stay optimistic. This is your home. Don't settle on a place. It's New York City. Like, there are tons and tons of apartments. Like, you'll find a great space for you. I'd say start saving now. It is a pretty hefty financial commitment, moving, and that's for any place or any city or any apartment that you get. It is, financially a lot, but I don't know. I'm really proud of myself. I've been working really hard over the past month and the months prior to my move here, and it's just so nice to know that I'm back in the place where I feel the best in my home. So I hope that you enjoyed this little story time. I hope you enjoyed the little snippets. This feels like maybe like an HGTV excerpt or like online video story. But yes, I'm going to be filming more content in terms of decorating this space. I have so many ideas, so many fun things. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, check me out over on TikTok and Instagram because I'm a little bit more active over there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you're apartment hunting or moving anytime soon, good luck. You're gonna be amazing. This is such an exciting chapter for you to start in your life, and I'm cheering you on.